331 BC. Alexander the Great is marshaling his forces against the Persian Empire led by King Darius III. Darius offered Alexander marriage, notable riches, and almost half the land of his empire to broker a treaty, a negotiation which ultimately failed due to Alexander remarking that there will be only one king of Asia. Before the Battle of Gaugamela, several Persian governors plotted to overthrow Darius III, causing chaos in the Persian ranks and ultimately leading to their defeat. 1942, the Japanese largely outnumbers the American fleet in the Santa Cruz Islands, but lack of communication and coordination among the Japanese leads to friendly fire incidents and the loss of 4 Japanese ships, while the other side suffered no losses whatsoever. The Napoleonic conquest is really interesting to me. I think it was because it was basically the last historical example of old-school bloody world conquest before the development of modern weaponry and technology, a breath away from the modern era. It happened during American history. Imagine you're having coffee, reading the morning paper in Pennsylvania, and you're reading about this happening just across the ocean. Anyways, Napoleon takes over all of Europe, makes the mistake of going after Russia, comes back, and everything starts to crumble. He loses, exiles to Elba, and then escapes, starts consolidating power, and all of Europe is freaking the out, preparing for all of this to happen again, but it didn't. Prussian and British forces marshal armies in an attempt to stop him at Waterloo. Several of Napoleon's marshals hesitated to carry out his commands, leading in a miscoordination and a breakdown of unity in the French forces, which ultimately led to the French defeat and the second and final exile of Napoleon Bonaparte. There's something about the interlocking of multiple pieces that creates something that's more than the sum of the parts. It's like 4 hands working together perfectly can create something that people would have expected took 8 hands, and this keeps multiplying the more people you add. The synergistic efforts of human beings can create amazing or terrible things, but whether it's killing a bunch of people or building the earth in Minecraft, the larger the force that's dedicated to completing the task, the more difficult it is to keep them unified and coordinated towards the goal. If the commanders in all of these historical examples could have had a lucid moment to get out of arguing their differences so intensely and realize that if this internal war continues, we're going to lose. Things could have turned out so differently. World history could be completely different. Build the Earth is not down for the count. Actually, after everything we've been through, we're hitting a period of reunification and course correction that's going to change everything. But we've had some pretty serious inner conflict that strikes at the heart of our mission and gave everyone quite a blow. I'm going to tell you the story of how it happened and how it's impacting the staggering aims of our global conversion ambition. But first, a word from our video's sponsor, this guy. We are on a mission on Instagram, a mission to reach 69,420 followers. Once that happens, we will lock the account, so those who helped reach this goal will have exclusive access. Let's make it happen. Also, I tweet some real f***ing bangers on Twitter, like this one. Not as important as the Instagram mission, but if you want me, check it out. And be sure to subscribe! Might be controversial to say, but you know me, I'm gonna say it anyway. There seems to be something depressive, fatalistic, and very apathy-driven when it comes to the recent culture, especially in young people. It's like a vibe. And maybe I'm being unfair by singling you guys out, because to me it just feels like this shit is everywhere. As the darkness begins to swallow our culture and everything up, I feel like it's my mission to stay afloat and light candles for other people struggling with this, to see that there's a different way to feel. Unfortunately, from what I can observe, it seems like this depressing darkness eats positivity for breakfast, and that the darkness wins every time there's a confrontation. I will fight this for as long as I'm breathing, but this definitely seemed to win when it came to a confrontation in the Seattle 10,000 event. Now, the huge rabbit in the hat here is the concept of social behavior virability. The idea is that you cannot predict the way a group is going to move socially because anything can pick up wind and the whole group will just start moving in that direction, and fast, and you never know what it's gonna be. It's usually expected of group members to get with the program if they want to keep social stature within the group. This concept is so everything, that its depth wouldn't be fully explored if we did 6 videos on it. It's basically the basis of everything. So in the video where I detail the 1,000 plus hours I spent on this event, which you should definitely go check out, I covered the whole situation of how things started to erupt. It started with people memeing on the guys who were just building the random smallest sheds. That turned into real resentment since they were worth the same point as a mansion. Regardless of the technicalities of the event and who was right or wrong, the problem is that people were doing the best they could to trash the event and dissuade people from continuing. And I participated in this process by arguing back and ramping up the tension. I'm just as to blame. And as this tension erupted into full-on war, it sealed the deal on the most ambitious event attempt in the project's history to be doomed to be the first failure in our history. The mind has a propensity to close on things when fraught with emotion, and we're fraught with emotion when we have a lot of stake in whatever we're dealing with. The mind's ability to ponder new information or process it in inventive ways seems to just get shut off, and we go on the warpath, and no one benefits. People against this event were so bent on leaning into that social affirmation loop going out of control that I don't think they were considering the implications of what they were doing, that the fighting would make us lose the war. Now, you might say that team owners outside of Build It 1-to-1 shouldn't care if my event burns to the ground, and that they're justified in celebrating it after that had happened. They didn't understand the full implications. Because we failed, and the burn it down attitude won, this sent a ripple of despair that caused record levels of inactivity throughout the event, on all teams. I pretended to understand this and thought I was fighting for the prevention of it, but I wasn't. Participating in the amping up of the fighting didn't help anything in line with my higher objectives. Now that you know the bare bones of what we've been through in the past year, I'd like to illustrate additional context for why this conflict arose. We need to go deeper. I conceived of Build the Earth and brought a lot of people in Minecraft to the creative builder culture. But the culture is much older than this project, and a large portion of builders who have been active throughout long periods of the project's history come from other or older creative building projects. The creative building Minecraft culture has cohesive social and cultural shapes and edicts. Let's look at this through their perspective. I want you to imagine that every day you're compelled to spend your free time studying the great mystery of Minecraft building. What is it about certain structures built in Minecraft that make people go, ooh, and ah? Just go f***ing nuts, froth at the mouth as rabies inhabits their bodies, sell their family in order to get the NFT, whatever it is. People just love a thing that looks great in this game, and becoming competent in learning how that works is no picnic. An additional lens of complexity is added to that when building things in our project. Accuracy in context to the real world. It's a really worthwhile art form, and if you spend every day valuing those principles, you're naturally going to react negatively to anything that is potentially the antithesis. To you, one building perfectly sculpted, beautifully detailed, would be worth more than 10,000 mediocre or crappy buildings in Minecraft. So you can see where this is going. Prestige in the creative Minecraft culture is based around skill. Skill on anything that you do. So that prestige translates into social currency, and slowly, over time, it becomes cooler in the culture to spend more and more time on one building until it's better and better and better. You can start to see how this is a problem for Build the Earth. We're building billions of buildings. So if we're slowing down to make each individual building better, it only makes our impossible task more impossible. Now, the thing here is, this is a big project. It's the largest project in Minecraft. There's enough room for a quality building culture and a quantity building culture. The problem is that the project being related to the creative Minecraft building community gets influenced by these naturally occurring social influences to disregard and attack quantity-based building. And as the history of this project continues, the social imbalance towards preferring quality increases. Now, I know to some of you that sounds insane. How can it be bad to prefer quality? Well, let's pretend for a moment or two that the goal of Build the Earth to build the entire Earth doesn't exist. That we as a project do not have that objective, and we are rather just continuing producing quality Minecraft maps for exploration and YouTube promotional content for an audience and to grow the internal building community. I will now make the case for quantity. So if any of you watching are elite builders in this project who prefer quality, I would ask you to consider what I'm saying. My first question to you is, would you prefer to build in a project largely empty of members and devoid of progress in general? If the answer is no, then you by default value the aspect of promoting your Minecraft community on social media and, most importantly, YouTube. Now, videos on singular buildings that are maximally beautiful and just standalone buildings can be done. We did so in our top 10 video, but it's the only video I've ever made that largely focuses on singular standalone buildings. Could that be because I prefer large areas? Maybe, but I think people in general also prefer large areas. Even if that's contestable, with large completed areas, there's so many more angles, context, and immersion that can be achieved in the visuals of a video, and just that much more content to the area that we're exploring versus one standalone building. Quality is important for showcasing things on YouTube, but in Build the Earth's case, at best, it's only half the picture. And while standalone buildings are not sufficient for a full menu of Minecraft content creation, it gets much worse for my next point: exploration. Standalone buildings are borderline abysmal for this concept. Most of the excitement for our project is the idea of people being able to explore the finished world. In our top 10 video, the first place ranking build by Team Romania was also the largest standalone building, but with all of its size and complexity, an explorer from the audience can run around this thing and admire it for a few minutes before wanting to move on and seeing something else. It's gonna be an even shorter retention time for anything smaller than the goddamn Romanian House of Parliament, the heaviest building in the world. Large completed areas, on the other hand, allow explorers to explore for much longer. In short, quality over quantity has a limited radius for what it can offer YouTube, and scores very low marks in terms of exploration potential. Here's the argument and best example I can make in the argument for quantity. Our greatest achievement, New York. The way in which it was constructed is unique and different than any other city in Build the Earth. Mindfact generated a map of bland gray shells of somewhat accurate height that builders start with when making buildings, as opposed to most other areas that start with outlines or nothing. So after all of the building in New York, what you have is a city-sized area of shells, many of those which are now built into completed structures and entirely finished areas. You will randomly encounter the gray shells or completed buildings and entire areas, depending on which street corner you turn. Despite the prevalence of these gray shells, the existence of them serves as placement of the city that's reassuring when acting as background dressing for the real completed areas. New York is the perfect combination of quality and quantity, and allows explorers to run around the city enjoying the sights and not getting bored for hours. But it would be boring if it was only shells. Quantity needs quality, and quality needs quantity. The two need each other to reach all of our shared collective objectives simultaneously. It's an inescapable conclusion. And while I've seen the advanced builders concede this point before, many of them just go back to bashing quantity as if they never read this point in the first place. If you're a quality builder in Build the Earth, I appreciate you. And right now, I need you to absorb this on a level that you perhaps haven't before. Here is the reality of the situation. Without initiatives for projects where quantity is of prime importance, this project won't succeed. I need you to value the quantity builders in the same way that we value you. Not consider yourself above them because you can build better, because you can construct these holy artifacts that make the brain drown in a sea of its own dopamine. Without a quantity of buildings surrounding your holy artifact, the intention your building gets drops off much quicker, as there is no reality that your building is placed in. Build It 101 received a lot of hate in the project, but I think that's one reason why our maps were successful. Monaco was beautiful all around, so it's a bad example of being quantity oriented, but its central building, the Monte Carlo Casino, built by Fats, was a cut above the rest in terms of its beauty and wonder. And that's accentuated by the fact that it's nestled in a surrounding reality of a huge completed portion of Monte Carlo, a subdivision of the country of Monaco. That's what we need in this project: quantity builders and quality builders working together. The quantity builders supporting and appreciating the quality builders, and most importantly, the quality builders appreciating the quantity builders. If we can do that, then Build the Earth will continue to produce truly mind-bending maps in both size and beauty, and satisfy everyone witnessing it. but the quantity builders have been slowly either converted into quality builders or scared off of the project for some time. The Seattle 10,000 incident was a larger step in this process that's been going on since the start. And there's an elitism that accompanies this process. All the social flow of the project favors the elitism, and the cycle just continues to make the whole community clickier and ultimately smaller. To these elite builders, I want you to understand that I'm not attacking you. I'm not making a war. We value you more than anything. It's why quantity builders get converted into quality builders in the first place. They think you're f***ing cool, and so do I. But there's a process here that's having detrimental effects, and I don't think you want that to unintentionally compromise Build the Earth any more than I do. So make quantity cool again, because huge maps are awesome, and most people don't want to see them go. Fast forward to today. Over a year since the launch of the Seattle 10,000 event, in the last month, there's been a lot of reconnection and rebuilt solidarity towards the factions that all fought. And now Build the Earth is coming back with its legendary showcase channel, the channel with almost religious significance and a voluminous preponderance of progress being posted since day 1. Well, technically day 3. To end the video today, we're gonna check out this year's submissions so far. Build the Earth isn't done, we're just as strong and gonna be much stronger. Because I'm here to tell you that it isn't impossible to finish, as a huge revelation and update in terms of progress completion has been discovered that's going to change everything. A topic we will get into next video, so you're not going to want to miss it. A huge thanks to Cristiano Frazinetti, Jonathan Finelli, and Thibault Tollett. You guys are 10 out of 10 quality and high quantity as well. Whatever that means. Okay, I love this, specifically the surroundings. What is this? It's like an outdoor art museum or something like that. More of the communist architecture in Russia. This is so interesting. What the f is this? It's part of a collection, so there's like no info on this. What is this? Office building in Russia with beautiful surroundings. Look at that backdrop. What the hell? This is all one guy? Oh my god, oh my god. What's real and what's Minecraft? Honestly, I can't tell. A prison in Poland. That sure does look like a goddamn prison. What is this? This is an interesting render choice. It looks like it's fucking that Avengers movie where the city's lifted up in the sky and it's gonna be dropped. Wow, people are playing with some interesting stuff here. You can see some of it's Minecraft, some's real life. There's fireworks in the real life backdrop. That's so cool. Oh man, shots like this, dude. This is why I do this. Oh my god. Is this even Minecraft? Holy crap. That river looks so real. The trees too, really. My god, and some of these buildings, what the f? That water is so gorgeous. In this one, you can kind of see the blocks more, kind of gives it away. But this last, my god, dude. If you ignore this bridge, you just cannot tell if this is real life or Minecraft. This is amazing. This is the thing, everyone's like building their little empires in this project. Everyone's got their little corner of the world that they keep expanding. What the hell is this? This is inside a building. Build the Earth doesn't usually do interiors. This has got to be a mall or something. Oh, it's a train station. Holy f. Okay, once again, I'm a sucker for these kinds of aesthetics. Dude, can we go live in Minecraft already? Oh my god. Oh my, what is this? This is amazing. Built in 1660. Yeah, this looks badass as f. Jumbo floating restaurant. What? Oh, that sky is so malevolent. I love it. I'll tell you what, Daniel's like one of my favorite builders. He finds these like amazing, like secret, super cool locations to do. What? It's like Legos on LSD. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. The completed size of this is comparable to Queen Anne. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Holy shit, man. It looks delicious. It's like I could eat it.